So guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about the 4 proposal samples I have here. So these are really good proposal samples, and I'm going to be breaking them down, the psychology behind why they work well, and why you could take some examples from this or take some inspiration from this to write yours, and probably the type of job descriptions where you can easily place them. Now, the reason I do this is because a lot of people still think that there is just one template or proposal template that no matter what kind of job or job description someone posts, if they write that same template to that job description, they're going to get jobs. And no, that is quite I don't want to call it a foolish way of thinking, but basically that's a very mediocre or low level way of thinking, because there are some ways you write proposals, and if you take it to someone who is talking about something else, it's just going to look like you are copying and pasting, and basically you're spamming the listen. It looks like you're just using a template you found online. And what that is going to do when the client sees that is that it's going to infuriate them, because they're going to be like, this guy didn't even take time to listen to my job audio. So that's why should I even open his or her proposal? Or why should I think that he or she would be a good fit for my program? Right? I'm sorry about it, for my program, for the job that they put out there for people to apply to, right? So once you understand that, then we are good to go. So the first proposal template we have here is basically, we like it's not even a template, sorry, sample we have here. It goes, hello, Andy. The biggest mistake with Astra team is mostly on customization and team optimization, especially on mobile-friendly and SEO optimized design. As an experienced senior WordPress designer, I would fix all the tags in your job posting using these steps below, which include: 1, using premium Elementor Pro plugin to customize the Astra stem, blah, blah. Right? 2, migrating all the post contents carefully handled important on-page SEO. 3, it will be used in stock shutter. It will be best to use stock photography from Shutterstock or Splash.com. With these, we can get good non-copyright images that will boost the website's ranking. 4, lastly, I can complete this job in 2 to 5 days, right? I hope this covers your requirements for the task. I'm free to discuss details with you if you're interested. Thanks, Paul. Oh, top rated freelancer. Then he answered the questions they asked here, right? Now, this is my favorite, and I rate this one a 9/10. And the reason for that is that not only does sorry about that. The reason for that is that not only does the person come from an authoritative view, it actually addresses the job description very well. Obviously, we don't have the job description here, and if I had access to it, I would actually share it here so we can compare it side by side. But from the way the proposal was written, you can tell that the job description actually explained in detail what they are trying to achieve. Now, this type of proposal, it's mostly for you guys who are doing the more technical skills. You can, if you're a writer, sometimes most times people don't take time to explain the kind of job they want done. But if you're a website designer, you're a UI UX writer and the rest of that, or maybe you even do data SQL and the rest of that. You see people trying to explain their jobs in a manner, and if you attack or if you approach the job description like this, it's way better than just any other method or just trying to use a template and saying, imagine if he had said, hi, hello, Andy, I've been a WordPress designer for 5 years. That sounds cliche. That sounds like what everybody said. Not just that, it sounds like something you went on Google and picked up and just started sending it to everyone or any job post you saw. So you don't want that. So what makes this a really great proposal and what makes it a 9 out of 10 is, number one, obviously, you'll notice one thing: every single proposal in this video, every single proposal here starts with the person's name. And it's very important because it draws the person's attention. But now, getting someone's name is not just that special again, right? Because almost everyone, in fact, everybody knows it. Even someone who starts applying for jobs on Upwork today knows it, basically, right? So getting someone's name is not that special. Sure, it gives you a little bit of an upside based on the fact that you are actually paying attention to detail. But besides that, there's nothing much out there again. So that's one. So the next thing is how he approached it, right? He went, the biggest mistake with Astra team is mostly on customization and team optimization. So it shows that you know the job and you know what's wrong and how you are going to solve it. Simple as that. Simple. If you're interested, you listen. Now, one thing I also noticed here that is very efficient is asking the right questions. If you are a student of the High Paid Master Planning program, you probably have access to that bonus and you've read it about how to close modules by asking the right questions. And this is a clear scenario of that yet again, right? So it's a quick question. May I know the color palette code for this website? Now, what this does and what asking questions does in your proposal, or maybe if you're even pitching, right, and the person has responded to you, you're using cold emails or residents, is that number one, it further enhances building you as an authority, which is very important. But it doesn't just stop there. Aside from building you as an authority, it also basically shows the person who you are applying to their job, or it basically shows the person who you are applying to their job that, yo, this person cares for the job, right? Or this person actually is trying to pay more attention to the details of this job, basically. So that's something you actually want to take note of. Okay, so that's it for number one, right? So you guys, let's look at the questions. What frameworks have you worked with? I've worked with different WordPress frameworks, which include Elementor, blah, blah, blah. Guys, answer the question. Now, for the second question, describe your recent experience with similar projects. He already had a portfolio on Upwork that further helped him with that. If you don't have one, you just simply answer the question straight up and describe a similar experience with that. All right. So let's move on to the next one, which is basically, it goes, hi there. So probably this person's name was not there, or this person doesn't know how to find names, which doesn't matter because the person wrote a really good proposal. As a cat lover, I urgently needed a sitter for my cat, but I couldn't find any. Google search couldn't help. It was such a mental stress for me that I had to surf website after website, since majority of them had low online presence, something a simple SEO blog post could have solved. This experience spurred me to specialize in writing SEO content for cat sitting agencies. It has greatly helped them. I'm a freelancer who specializes in writing engaging content that educates, informs, and helps your audience make informed buying decisions when it comes to their cats. My experience as a cat owner and my professional experience with over 9 years of copywriting services position me as an ideal candidate for this job. Do you have any keywords to target? Who do you think your greatest competitors are? Awesome. Now I'm going to show you why this proposal is such a great proposal. Number one, hi there. Number two, I would say, based on my experience on Upwork, is that this person he's writing the job to might even be a new client. Not just a new client, but the name is not there, right? That's one reason. Or maybe the person has hired a few people, but their name is not easily discoverable on Upwork via their client's history, via client's history section of it, right? And the person didn't fully explain what they want from this job. It could be a simple description as, hey, hey, XYZ, or I'm looking for a cat writer who is good at SEO. Something as simple as that. They didn't explain it detailed, but that's enough for the person to draw inference from, right? So what the person did was have a story that's linked up with this, right? So it's like as a cat lover and the rest of that. So you're going to, so basically the person has a story that linked up with or aligns with what the job poster is basically looking for. Now, let me tell you something. There is a chance that this story is not real, right? But it just gets to the point of being a good writer for, sorry about this. It all draws to the point of being a good writer for cat blogs or cats websites and the rest of that, right? And the person also took note of the second thing, which is SEO, and how they want to increase their rankings, because anyone who is doing SEO or who is looking at SEO wants their rankings or their website rankings on Google search to be increased, right? And this stuff you want. And he or she ended it with a very good call to action. A good call to action could be like what you see, or if you're interested, simply send me a message. I'm online, right? Or let's discuss more, right? That's a good one. Another good one could be asking questions. Do you have keywords to target? Who do you think your greatest competitors are? And I'm going to tell you this because most of the proposals are sent. Questions always get me responded, and when they respond, they're like, okay, what are these? What I'm looking for, blah blah blah, and then we chat. And in some cases, you close them. In some cases, you don't close them. That's fine. But in majority of the cases, you close them once you've gotten them to respond, because that increases the chances of them hiring you by at least, let's say, 90%, basically. Okay, so that's what makes this a really good distance. Even though there was no much to put on, he or she found similarities and linked it to the job post, right? Positioning themselves as the ideal candidate. So now basically you can write something like this for a job description that doesn't have so many people, that doesn't have so much basically, so much description, so much in-depth description, as compared to the first one, which shows that the job description probably had some in-depth description. Right now, like they're going to explain the whole thing, but they just tell you what they need and probably what you're currently doing or what problem you're currently facing, and probably asking how you're going to solve it. So they know that they are filtering the nonsense people who want to, or the average freelancers who want to apply, and getting the best quality. Okay. So let's go to the third one. And it goes, "Hi, Mr. Carl. What you need is an excellent writer who is excellent at breaking down complex topics into human readable everyday language for real estate agents and brokers. The only way to make it emotionally involving and persuasive is through storytelling. This is my specialty. As a former real estate salesperson and deal closer, this project will allow me to use my skills for what it's best used for, helping people make informed buying decisions. Just being curious, who are your ideal clients? How long is the video? Is it available in high quality resolution?" Again, like I said, drawing similarities. It might not even be that what this person said again is true. This is very similar to the second proposal we just went through, which was the previous one we just went through, right? They are very, very similar, and they are basically great proposals for the same reasons. Having, let's say, a backstory that shows why you listen, right? So it could even be as a real estate, as a newbie, I got to work with a lot of real estate companies. And during this time, I picked up some skills that helped me help most people make informed buying decisions when it comes to real estate and the rest of that. And the story goes on and the rest of that. See how easy it is to form a story around that, right? But before you do anything like that, and I don't recommend you do anything like that, you want to make sure that you can actually solve this job. That's one thing you actually want to make sure of, that you can solve this job. If you want to make sure of that, you're good to go. Okay. So it goes. So basically how the person ended the game is with a great call to action. Just being curious, who are your ideal clients? How long is the video? Is it available in high quality? And what resolution is it available in? Now, if you notice, these questions are not super important. They're not like the best, but basically what these questions are meant to do, and they are sensible questions. Another thing to know, when you're asking questions, don't ask a question that the answer has already been answered in the job description. That would minus points for you. That will make you look like an idiot instead of you looking like a genius. All right. So now what these questions are doing, these questions at the bottom are basically prompting the person to respond. That's the main thing. That's their major value. Yeah, prompting the person to respond and helping the person position as an expert. Okay, so that's why this works. If you can find a way to put smart, sensible questions at the bottom of your proposals, try it and you will see instant replies for your job proposal, okay? Or for your proposal you sent. So we have the last one, which is the final one, which goes, "Hi, Jason. When business is disrupted as a result of disaster, it can cost money. Lost revenues plus extra expenses means reduced profits. Insurance does not cover all costs and cannot replace customers that defect to the competition. A business continuity plan to continue business is essential. This is where I come in. I'm a freelancer who specializes in helping business draft a detailed business continuity plan that helps show how they can plan to prevent, maintain, and sustain essential business functions and processes. I am online waiting for the order to start this project as soon as possible." This is super awesome. But basically, I'm going to tell you, sorry about this. I'm going to tell you why I don't really like this one. So what the person did here was basically a direct pitch of themselves. Now, a direct pitch of yourself is good, but when it comes to selling, people want to feel like they're making the decision by themselves. So a direct pitch is basically a hit or a miss, right? It's like 50-50, basically. I rate this particular proposal template a 5/10 because the person is basically selling themselves directly. And that's good. That's good if that's good, but sometimes people just basically, if you're looking at the psychology behind selling, behind it, that might disqualify this person. But now, what makes this a really awesome proposal again is the beginning part, because the person established himself as an authority by explaining the pain points or what the downside of all of this is and how he is going to basically help them solve that, right? No matter what it is you do, whether you're a WordPress designer, you can be like, all right, so a bad website would mean loss of visitors. Loss of visitors could mean lower rankings in your SEO and your website, and you could just keep carrying going on and on, and that would mean lots of wasted money and even a failed business. You don't want that, so you want a beautiful WordPress websites. This is where I come in, right? I'm a freelancer who specializes in this thing. You see how good that is, and that's it, right? So the call to action also, it's under very bad, sorry about that, it's a very bad call to action in my opinion, because it says I'm online waiting for your order to start this project as soon as possible. And the person might feel pressured into making the order, and that's not what they want to feel. People don't want to feel pressure. So you'll be like, got questions, or is there anything you'd like me to know? I'm online, let's chat, or let's chat more about, or let's discuss more about how we can move further with this project, or let's discuss to see if I'm a best fit for this project, or let's discuss to see how we can go about this project, right? You want those subtle endings that are really, really good, all right? That doesn't seem like you're forcing the person to choose you, right? Like the person is making a decision on their own. That's the angle you want to come from, all right? So I hope I've been able to explain the ideology behind this and why these proposal templates stand out. Basically, it's all once you review all four of them, you kind of see something very similar, which is positioning yourself as the best candidate. That's you being super direct, and why this last one actually botched it. And not just that, the best way to position yourself as an expert is to talk something relevant to the job, right? Even if you're a complete newbie, you can create actually something like this last proposal sample. Even if you're a complete newbie, you can do that, right? Same thing with 2 and 3. Maybe if you're a complete newbie, you can't create number 1, and that's fine. Actually, you can. If you've studied your skill well, you can. But if you can't create number 1, 2, 3, 4, you can actually do that. Okay. So realize the similarities. Everybody here tries to mention the person's name and the rest of that. In some cases, when I'm applying, I don't even put hi there or this. I'm like, I just go straight as a cast lover, or here's how I'm going to solve XYZ, right? Has a simple way, has a simple headline too. Here's how I'm going to solve the problem you are facing. Or here's how I'm going to make your WordPress site more simple and a better customization, right? Simple as that. That also works. Because one thing people forget is that, number one, the first 3 lines are very, very important in your proposal template. And I can tell you one thing, every single proposal here is going to get read because the first 3 lines were awesome. If you're, like I said, if you say, hello, Andy, my name is Walter A. They can already see your name, basically, right? So that's already a stupid waste of space. I've been a WordPress designer for 5 years and I believe I can do this job. Boom, they've skipped it, right? It's not engaging enough. You can see how this person went. Hello, Andy. The biggest mistake with abstract theme is mostly, probably the person said they tried using abstract theme and it fucked up their website or something like that. And that's what this person is trying to explain, right? Same thing here. As a cat lover, urgently needed bar. Very good, right? And you can see on that one here, hi, Mr. Kyle. What you need is an excellent, straight from the greeting, straight to business. Don't start saying your years of experience and the rest of that. That's what your profile is there for. That's what your profile is there for. You don't just come and start explaining it, right? You can say with my, when you can use it is later further down the proposal where you can be like, with my 5 years of experience doing XYZ, with my 1 year of experience doing XYZ, I believe this can further help supplement or further help improve blah, 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 solve your problem and the rest of that. That's something you actually want to do, right? Just do it used as a former real estate agent and salesperson and the rest of that, right? So that's simply it for this video. And I hope you've been able to learn a lot. So I'm dropping this on YouTube. Let me know what you think. Like and share with your friends who are into freelancing. And I'll see you guys in the next one.